So I put it on the list. I just misspelled the name. I forgot. I left out the L in assembler, so that's why you don't have 8 right now module slots. I've just fixed that. I guess I'll post that on the community Discord again and update a 1.0.3 version of this. Hey, you. Please be free. Please be free. Don't be stuck in a thing. Hey, you there. Be free. Those are very expensive robots. Why are you not working? They need to work for me. Why are there oh, so they're still working on placing doohickeys. Still placing doohickeys everywhere. My Constructobots. So, all of that done. I guess I still need to look at the purple science. Why that's not moving. Where am I making that again? There. You are moving. You are moving now. Interesting that... Oh, it was probably a growth factor thing. So now that growth factor exists again, it must have the things that it was missing. I'm just guessing at this point. So yeah, you are flowing freely. I would imagine it would be the control units, right? It was the control units because control units need circuit 3s, and circuit 3s were not flowing because of the lack of the bio batteries. Right, because you need bio batteries to make the mounted circuit substrates. The mounted circuit substrates. So now that I have that, again, these will flow. Although, lack of circuit 2s disturbs me greatly. What is going on the circuit 2s as I keep getting consistently distracted? Circuit 2s, what is your deal? Why do you not have solder? I have solder. I brought hot air. Did I? Oh, I don't think I brought the hot air to that cages build. Where? Huh? Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, No, I have brought the hot air. Right, it exists here, but... And I'm bringing it, yeah, from below. So it's there. Solder is there. Solder is... There's, what? Why is there a cages train in Solder Depot 1 slot? Oops. Oops. How did that happen? What? Cage Depot. Cage Depot. Circuit condition. How in the world did that happen? I do not know. Is my supply of solder... Is my supply of solder dead? I think it had said Maldura 01. It's very difficult, by the way, to find what I'm looking for these days. In all of this. Hello, welcome. I am here. I'm doing stuff. I am looking for solder. A station that is supposed to accept solder. And what does not help is that some of these names are not actually the names that they should be. So the cages is fine. It's the other stuff that annoys me greatly. Where is solder? You know, I'm thinking it might actually have a train in it. So if I look for one that has a train in it. Oh, that needs to move again. Why is that not moving? Trains. Trains. Let's just bring up the full list of the trains. Because I can search for solder. Excuse me? What? What? Oh, a lot was borked. Okay. Okay, so that... what the hell happened? So, that particular train that I just saw that had cages in it somehow switched its station to oh, you know what? I probably borked the station, didn't I? Yep, that's exactly what I did. I borked the station name. Yep, that's it. Yeah. So when I brought in the hot air, I did a copy paste, and it pasted the station name over the solder supply 1. So the train updated. The train updated to be cages. It went to cages, and then it went to the solder depot. My map is amazing. Why, thank you. My map is a map. My map is a map. My base is a base. It is a base. All the electric lines there. It's a base. Yep. Well, at least this gives me an opportunity to do a little updating. And potentially add some stuffs. Get rid of that. Give me thingies. So, solder. That's not the thing I was searching for. Excuse me. Solder. Supply. Depot. Full cargo. Circuit condition. Go. There we go. You were not full yet. Excuse me, buddy. But you are not full yet. Go back. I hate when it does that, by the way. It's like you tell it to go, but it goes to the next station instead of actually fulfilling the conditions at the station it's at. It just moves without even being full yet. Weird. That does not, however, solve the issue of the requester station that I should have had at the mall. So I am looking for a thing in the mall that is supposed to be the requester for doohickeys solder. So looking at the stuff labeled as mall. And the ones listed as double solder. This one, could you ping that for me, please? It shows up right here. And yeah, so it got full of cages. Yep, it became full of cages rather than what I actually wanted. Could you go away, please? This window, it would be nice if this window died. There it goes. All right, down here shows up right on this map, so I can see. Oh hey, I was a dummy. Thank you so much for the follow. Let's see, what do I need to do? I need to set this higher, I guess. That's one way of doing it. Tell it to just bring more stuff. Bring all the things. Bring me things and stuffs. And I'm not even really using the cages anymore. Oddly, it's only bringing one. Why is it only bringing one? I guess one has enough in it. That will help a little bit on my Circuit 2s. Okay. After all of those distractions, fixing things that are broken, now is the time to do vanadium. Now I will do the vanadium pentoxide chain as it was meant to be done from the very beginning. So, vanadium pentoxide, I will need a source of arthropod blood. What will be the source of the arthropod blood? I was thinking about improved Zipho, however, there is, of course, always going to be a however. I think it is actually higher output if I instead raise Zipho from larva. So there is the extract 350 from the improved Zipho with recombinant erythropoietin that I have access to right now. Or I can just extract 140 from a regular Zipho that I get from growing larva with growth factor and resveratrol. And then the larva, does the larva output increase with stuff? Yes, it does. It absolutely does. So let's see. Let's have a look at what's added here. So I need fish eggs. No matter what. No, not no matter what. Okay, if I go from cub 12 and up, it'll use fish eggs. So I could do 33 larvae without having to spend the fish eggs. And it doesn't even need a special food either. It does consume the... I want the pheromone recipe to improve things further. This is a pretty good setup here. I would think I would want to do that, even though it is not the most output. It saves me on having to make deluxe fish food, as well as fish eggs for this. The rest I don't really have to worry about at the moment. Yeah, this will be just fine for output. Now I do, however, need to note that I have this does not use cages, so I am going to use the productivity plus speed from the god modules there. And I do have Ziffo pools at Mark 4 right now, so I can plan along those lines as well. 0. Because I need to set a target amount, let's say 300. Let's just randomly say 300, and this can have all of the productivity on the planet, because no cages involved here. There is no loop regarding cages on this. So, you know, just one Ziffo pool with a creature chamber will give me a lot. This will be as opposed to the recombinant erythropoietin, which, if I do go the route, do this same type of setup, we can ignore these other things that I'm already making. If I say I want 300 here, I go to Mark 4 and I go to the modules and I make sure that I have the proper modules. If we're looking at this to compare the two things, this uses 2 Ziffo pools as opposed to the one previously. It also needs 3 fish eggs, and it needs fish food, when the other process doesn't at all need those things. Yeah. So if I look at this, and then I look at this, 0.2, 10 on the phytoplankton. We've got a lot less pressured water, but that doesn't really matter now, does it? We've got 0.1 on the pheromones and 0.01 on growth factor, 0.03 on resveratrol. We have like 3 fish eggs here. 0.2 on the recombinant erythropoietin and 0.2 on the antivirals and 0.2 on the growth factor. Which, I mean, it's less growth factor here, right? So I know what I would choose any day of the week. This is still 3 buildings versus 3 buildings, but less power. Doing this and less stuff. Oh, I guess this is less pressured water, or way less pressured water. Whoa. Yeah, 6,000 pressured. What? How is that 6,000 pressured water to 12.99? Okay. Yeah, I know what I'm going to choose any day of the week. Between this versus this. And this gets into my point that a lot of the times this specialized creature with the recombinant erythropoietin in this example is very much often more expensive. In fact, they're generally always more expensive than doing the growth factor resveratrol cub raising. The cub raising is significantly better than these processes. In my opinion, the output should be higher when doing these. Or there needs to be an equivalent process to make a type of larva or cub that is a specialized larva or cub that then gets raised into the adult form. But yeah, that's thoughts there for that. So let's build. Let's build. I think I'm going to sneeze too, but I need to build. Build things. I did sneeze. So, let's go in here, find Ziffo pool, as well as actual Ziffo. Because I do have those. A few of those. I will, of course, pin this I also need creature chamber. Creature chamber? Wherefore art thou? I should have the Mark IVs. I do not need the Mark IIIs anymore. Those can go away. I no longer need you. You are no longer welcome. They are superfluous things. Do I have the Mark IV pressure pumps? I do! Which is great. And of course, all I really need here once they... Oh. Oh? Really? Okay. I need to actually make the Mark IV Ziffo pools. That's fine, I guess. If I can remember where exactly the Ziffo pools are. Is that it? Yes, that's it. Make me Ziffos! Make me the Ziffos! You of course need superconductor servomechanisms. Of course you need those. That is way too much on the metallic glass. Thanks. That is way too much that you're requesting there. What do you still need? Oh, you made a thing. That's all I need. Thank you so much for the Ziffo pool. Huzzah! So what does all this do, effectively? This allows me to go into the vanadium processing chain, which I will do rather quickly. I'll have a lot of Arthropod blood to process, but we're going to beacon the living hell out of this. All this, so I'm not going to be worried all that much about stuff things. So I was looking at this. No, I was looking at this. Ziffo Cub 11. Hello, Ziffo Cub 11. And welcome. I only need the one. The one building is fine. I do need a source of phytoplankton. Sometimes I get out of the vehicle just because I actually move faster on the aluminum tile. But phytoplankton, I should have somewhere because it gets used here and here, and then it goes down and over, and then down again, and over and down. Ah! I see. So it ends up being like right close to where I need it, as in incredibly close to where it's needed. Then I just need to provide some pressurized water. Wow, one of these can make 1.28 per second, even with that minus 1% productivity thing coming up on this. By the way, actual craft time here, don't think it's still been updated so that it doesn't take into account negative productivity. Factorio in and of itself, when you have a situation where you have negative productivity, it floors at 0. So it doesn't actually remove things for having a negative productivity. But actual craft time still does the math as if you lose things. So it makes it a little bit off on its calculations. Hellmod, though. Hellmod does take into account that negative productivity doesn't actually do anything. In fact, Hellmod tells you this. If I look here, I think. Limitation productivity, because value cannot be less than 0. See, right there. Right there. It says cannot be less than 0, so it absolutely does take that into account. Actual craft time does not take that into account. Actual craft time does, however, take into account, at least it tells you when there is a limitation based off of crafting speed and recipe timing. So if the recipe would need to be faster than every tick, it's only going to get processed every tick. So I need a pressure pump making pressured water. That actually makes 320, which is a little bit less than what I need. Let's not do the exploity stuff this time with water, because I could put in productivity module to convert 960 water to more water. Just create water from nothingness. More water out of water. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a great idea. I also need to void some wastewater. If I can find my voiding thing, where did you go? I always lose track of my voiding things. So just add stuff. Just add stuff. Stuffs. Once the stuffs are added, it'll move. It's moving. We'll have the Ziffo larva. The Ziffo larva are going to get raised in a creature chamber into full-on Ziffo. Productively. Oh, right. Not productively, because, you know, creature chamber. Right. Creature chamber has a building level limitation on those. I can't actually use those. It completely slipped my mind. But it's still only 1 on things. Barely changes anything of value. So, yeah, speed for you. Oh hey, it's a convenient source of fetal serum. Gee, it's as if I have a plan. I don't actually have a plan. Sometimes. Sometimes I don't actually have a plan. And that makes full-grown Ziffo in a 2-to-1 ratio. This is why this is, you know, pretty good. With growth factor resveratrol from cubs/larvae. Because you turn your larva from 1 into 2 things. Yeah, it's decent. It's pretty decent at what it does. And then I have to, of course, slaughter. Do some glorious slaughtering of the Ziffo to make the wonderful and beautiful 140 units of Arthropod blood. Productively. Absolutely productively. Would help if that was on the other side, and you can get all of the Ziffo ever. All of it. All of them! You will make all of the blood. All of the blood you shall make on this day. Tossed into a tank. Glorious, beautiful tank of Arthropod blood. Now we can do vanadium. I have vanadium listed out right in here. I need to decide and do various updates to this, like I need to go and be like, hey, you need to use God modules, and be like, hey, all of these need to be Mark 4, for example. So and some of this I can just straight up ignore, like the industrial solvent. For example, I can just straight up ignore everything involved in the production of industrial solvent, as well as in the sodium chlorate, because I am currently making all of that right now in my mall. Slash, I have sources of all of this stuff, so I'm not worried about any of this stuff here. Methanol, sulfuric acid for acid strip solution, and I need oleochams. I've got oleochams. What I need though, before we really get into the full vanadium chain itself, which I'll get rid of all this Ziffo crap at the end of this chain. Yeah, I'll get rid of like all the stupidity here at the end, because this is going to be here at the mall. What I need to do, I need to like put Mark IVs or just ignore building counts. I think I'll just ignore building counts and ignore like the numbers here. Just just ignore numbers. It don't matter none. At this point in time, I just need I need acid strip and I need tailings dust. So, I need a methanol reactor and I need evaporators. And I don't know if I have the Mark IVs being produced of either of them. Methanol and evap. I think, yeah, neither of those. Great. So I guess this will be the time that I just go around and start making Mark IV stuff of all the stuffs. Just put in the requests, do the limitations where I need the limitations. I'm going to not do the augs yet though. Just generalized buildings like the stuff here. Of course, always pay attention on stack sizes. I need the, what was it again? Oh good, I have those. That's fantastic. These guys are, oh, that's a quenching tower. Oops, I need those. Yes, those beautiful doohickeys. Yes, give me methanol reactors. Also give me those and those and those. What are you missing? Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. I have already limited all of these output chests, so I am just going to go down the line. I generally don't like doing this so much because it puts a huge demand on everything all at the same time. But we're gonna go with it. Either way, I want things. I have bots. I have lots of bots. I want to make sure that if I want a Mark IV building, that I have a Mark IV building. With all 8 of its module slots. Thanks to the mods that I'm using. Do I want to do the same thing up here? I guess I will on those and those. Maybe even those and those and those. But I don't think I'll do it with the life stuff yet. Make sure that I limit these chests. Are these limited? Somewhat. That's not limited. Yes, those. Good. I have to check the chests just because I can end up having problems if I don't. Like, I really don't want to have a full chest of buildings for most buildings. There are very specific buildings that I absolutely would like to have full chests of, but not all of them. Let's see here. Yeah, I can get some of those. Not like that really matters, though. Oh, yeah, I actually have GPUs at Mark IV. Interesting. Alright, I can also get the beautiful particle accelerators at Mark IV now, as well. I think that's it. Where's the slot for the grease table, Mark IV? Excuse me? Grease table. Yeah, you. There. That helps a bit. As I need the various alien life things, it's when I'll make them at Mark IV. So is that my requests somewhat fulfilled? Not the evaporators, sadly. Hello? What do you need? Superconducting servo mechanisms. Here, have a servo mechanism. Here, have servo mechanisms. You need 5. Oh god. Why? Here. Have more. There. I have an evaporator. An evaporator. Okay. I need, more than... I think I need more than an evaporator. I need at least 2. Total. But I guess I'll manage. I also need a source of tailings. This is where things get a little interesting.